the way True or False works is I post a thing over on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/nerdnest. Subscribe, turn on the bell so you see that stuff. And I ask you for an idea that you say, you just give us a thing that you think could happen, and we say whether or not we think it's true that it will happen or false that it won't happen. And we got 3 that I went through and picked out of here. And the first one comes from Geo2062. They said Lenovo will drop out of the handheld PC market in 2026. And I think that they're asking that because we saw a crazy price hike for, first off, we had the Lenovo Legion Go 2 that got its price hike. And then, but now we have the Lenovo Legion Go S, which I think is the one that most of us daily drive for a handheld because it's got that big ass screen and it's pretty comfortable. It's a really nice system. That is now $1,600. I'm rounding up a tiny bit. There's tax. $1,600. When that thing came out, how much did that cost?
It was like 700 or 800, right?
Yeah. This is wild to me. Do you guys think Lenovo is ditching handhelds altogether and there's just we'll just raise the prices, and if we sell them, we sell them, and whatever? Russ?
I'll start. I think that this is the last Lenovo generation of handhelds, unless something drastically changes in the market. So I would say this is true, that the thing is dropping out of the handheld PC market in 2026. I don't know when they're going to actually stop manufacturing, stop selling, but I do think this is the last Legion Go handhelds that we're going to see unless something changes. I don't think when they increase the prices this much, I just think they're not interested in making new handhelds at this point.
Yeah, I saw the same thing. So I recently made a video about the Asus ROG G70, which is kind of like the Nook, right? That thing was supposed to cost $2,600, but then I got it is a lot. Mm-hmm. It's not $2,600 anymore, Russ. Russ, I would like to hear what you think that system now costs.
What is that's the one that has the AMD chip, the CPU, but then it has, what's the GPU in that?
5070.
Mobile, right?
Yes. Yeah. Mobile.
Yeah. So
64 gigs of RAM.
3,200.
Okay. Carrie, what do you think it costs?
Which one is this?
The
Asus
ROG G70. It's basically like an ROG Nook.
It's the silver looking one.
With a 5070?
With 5070 mobile.
Yeah, it's going to be up there. I'm going to say 25.
Okay. So originally it was supposed to be 2,600.
Yeah.
But then I got a message from Asus. Rich, tell them how much it is.
$39.99.
Oh my goodness.
$4,000
BC.
Right? And I think, look, I'm sure that Asus didn't want to do that. Just like I don't think Lenovo wants to sell these things for what they're selling for. But I think for the amount of research and development that they put into these things, and now the prices of the materials are so high, and they're not popular devices, so they can't buy all of these parts in bulk like they can with other stuff. I think that they were just like, well, I think we're screwed. Let's just set it at $4,000. And this the same thing with Lenovo. Well, I think we're screwed. It came out at $600 and now it's $1,600. Like this has got to stop. It's crazy.
It's funny. When I saw your thumbnail this morning, I was like, oh, Bill got this thing. They said they were going to send me that. Like I talked to them at CES. I was like, yes, I'll do a review on this thing. I'm interested. Right. And then they stopped talking to me. And I was like, oh, it must be because they know I'm going to harp on that price. And they were just like, no, we'll just skip Russ this time around. We don't
I think I spent 2 full minutes talking about the price in my video.
Yeah.
Because
I would have done 20
crazy.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. It's too high. It's unobtainium at that point. It's either they're just trying to say, hey, look, it's still in stock, or whatever they're trying to do. I don't even know, but it's too much.
Yeah.
Right. So go ahead, Rich.
Well, I was just saying, I don't know about everyone else, but I'm just so like I don't need hardware that bad, right? Like and I know I can
Exactly.
say that I'm spoiled right now, but I can say that even in my worst, right? I don't need hardware that bad. Like I'll take a single console or a single like, mid-range GPU and ride that thing into the dirt, and that's okay with me. No problem. Like I don't need to
Yeah.
spend thousands of dollars.
I could buy a
Yeah.
beater car here in Hawaii for $4,000. You know what I mean?
Right.
My son is 17. He's about to get his license. I could get him a car instead of getting this little computer.
The thing that gets, like, when we're talking about these outrageous prices, it seems even more foolish for AMD to not just enable FSR4 through their Int8 emulation path for RDNA 2 and RDNA 3 in their driver, because everyone knows it already works. Like, people hack it in left, right, and center. And if no one's buying new hardware and they just have all this old stuff, they really should reconsider just like, hey, you know what? It's hard times right now, so we're just going to like enable this for everyone, because these prices are legitimately
Right.
insane.
It's
Well,
honestly, it makes me think of the Switch dock mode, like Switch 2 dock mode, where like, you know what? You can now, like a software update, and now you're allowed to play your Switch 1 games in docked mode in handheld mode on the Switch
Yeah.
2. It's like
Oh,
that was
okay.
a cool thing they did for everybody. They didn't have to do that. It didn't make them any money. But that's the kind of thing that, yeah, I'd like to see AMD do too.
Yeah. The thing is like the question from, I scrolled down, Geo 2062,
I'm gonna
Lenovo.
say true on it.
Yeah, we'll get back to that in just a second, the trues and falses. It just makes me wonder if all of these things are going to vanish. Steam Decks have been out of stock for how friggin' long now? Lenovo is raising their prices so high that ain't nobody going to buy that stuff. Asus is doing the same thing with these mini PCs. I don't know if we're going to see them do the same thing with it's weird because we did see the the ROG Ally like was on sale or something. I can't remember which one. I think it was the Xbox Ally, the white one. I think that one was on
That
sale
sounds familiar.
recently, and I was like,
Oh yeah, for 500.
I was floored. I was like, what? Something got cheaper? That's crazy. So I just wonder if all of these things will simply vanish. Are we going to see the Steam Deck even come back? I don't know. It's if they just can't get the parts, it's crazy. So, Carrie, you said it's true. Lenovo's ditching.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with what Russ is saying. Is like, this is just like them. They're just like, you know what? Asus might be winning this out of the ODMs insofar as like, the presence that I've seen more Asus allies than I have seen Lenovo Legion Go's out in the wild. So anecdotally, I think that from that angle, and then now these prices are just like in the stratosphere. So from what Russ says, and I'm gonna agree, is that yeah, maybe not this year, but this is like they're, unless something happens where things can temper down and they can make something, they're going to be out of it for quite a while.
Yeah, I was talking to well, I won't say who I was talking to. I was talking to somebody, and they said they had sources that were like, "This RAM shit ain't stopping anytime soon." Anytime soon. Rich, do you think Lenovo's dropping out of the handheld PC market in 2026?
Yes, I also think they're any company is probably going to come back as soon as things look nice again. But that also feels like you just alluded to, like how soon is that, right? Like that maybe that's 2028, and even then, it's going to take Lenovo a year or two. So effectively, they're out, right? They're not coming back for a couple years.
Yeah, I agree with that. And so I'm going to say, I think that the panel agrees. This is true. All right. Beto 2D said, will the Switch 2 get a price increase this year? We've seen a price increase from Xbox multiple times. We've seen price increase from PlayStation multiple times. Everything's getting more expensive all of the time. The Switch 2 sitting pretty at $450. Do you guys think it's going to stay that way? Or do you think that we're going to start seeing more expensive Switch 2s out there? Russ, I'm going to start with you, man.
I don't think they can last a whole another 8 months. I think it's going to have to come up this year. My guess would be it would come out late summer. It would have a price increase, and then maybe they would do a couple like minor sales during the holidays or something like that to kind of even it out. But yeah, I'm going to say true. I think it's going to get a price increase this year.
Do you think it'll be sales or pack-ins? Because I think that like that's one thing that they can do a lot
pack-in.
easier is do pack-ins.
Yeah, I think pack-in's probably a better move there. Yeah, but I do see the price going up. I mean, it's unfortunate. And it's awesome that they've waited this long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially compared to some of the stuff we've been seeing. A lot of it comes down to what, Carrie's always talked about is like that huge, massive inventory that they got piled up beforehand. And I think they're still kind of riding high on that. But it's going to, I don't think it's going to last all year.
Rich?
Yeah, I can't really argue this. I mean, it would be nice if they could hold out for the rest of the year. I know they have some bangers coming this year based on what we've seen, right? But it's hard to picture them kind of holding on to this price that they have, especially with, I think a lot of folks bought the Mario Kart version, so they spent the extra 50 anyway. You're right. So like, yeah, make that the standard price. Maybe, like you said, include a pack in. So we'll see, but no, I can't argue this one. I think it's true.
I'm going to say false. And here's why. If we were, so all of the Joy-Cons are crazy expensive. The dock is crazy expensive. The screen is not very expensive. The battery's not expensive. What's the expensive part on here, right? It's the NAND and RAM. That's the part that's unobtainium and super hard to find.
Yeah.
So effectively, most of the Switch 2 is still at normal prices. It's only the RAM and the NAND that's in crazy nonsense prices.
Well, but you could say that for everything else too.
Right. But everything else, I think, was selling at a specific margin. And Nintendo has bigger margins than other console makers have. And one of the bigger clues that we have is that if you go to repair.nintendo.com and you say, I want to repair my Switch 2, Nintendo will sell you the board with all RAM and NAND and the chip and everything on it for $180. So how much does all the other stuff cost? How much does the screen cost? How much does the dock cost? How much does the Joy-Cons cost? I figure that for me, it's actually closer to like $250, $280 for Nintendo to make a Switch 2. Now, I am talking about U.S. Switch prices. Now, you realize that I'm saying $280. Do you know what the price of the Switch 2 is in Japan?
Isn't that the one where it's $350?
There's like a region locked one that's
330,
cheap,
okay.
right?
Yeah, it's region locked.
It's $330. And they're still making money on that. Or it's close to break even. So they have a lot of room. Nintendo has a lot of room that they can still kind of buffer into. So for me, I think Nintendo is going to personally take this decision and say, actually, we're not going to make profit here because we want to actually be the part where people can't afford anything else, but they can afford our stuff. And I think that they're going to look at that through the lens of, yes, we're not going to make as much money as we made on the hardware previously, but we're going to make up for that with people just buying because it's going to be the only affordable option.
You know, in a recent episode, I don't remember how long ago, but recently we were talking about the fact that Nintendo had done this sneaky price hike where they raised the price of physical media on Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh, yes.
And they kept the digital price to be what it normally is. And there's some people that say that that's not a price hike. That's not what we're here to re-argue. Whatever you want to call it, that's perfectly fine. And at the time, one of the things that I said was I think that they do this for a lot of reasons. But number one, because they prefer people to buy games digitally. You can't trade in your games. They can control when things are on sale. They control how much people are paying for that. And it's just cheaper for them. They don't have product that they have to ship all over the place. But then when you bring into that the fact that NAND prices are out of control, and I'm pretty sure that there's some of that stuff goes into like the making of the cards, like what are the cards called?
The game key cards?
Game key cards, or like the cards that you put in, whatever they're called, game key cards. I think that's just for the ones that don't have anything on them, but whatever.
Right.
The things that you put into the device, Like, I bet you that Nintendo is taking a loss on that stuff too. Like, not a loss, but they're not making as much as they used to because of this. And it makes me wonder if this is yet another symptom, like them doing that price thing with the digital games versus physical games. I wonder if that's another symptom of this same thing.
Possible.
Yeah, it's fair.
All right.
Honestly, thinking about this from Carrie's perspective, it actually starts to make sense. It's like they're like, we're going to be the company that weathers the storm, right? This is the same company whose CEO has reduced their own pay in order for people not to get fired, right? Wasn't that a thing they had done in the past? And so I could see, something like that happening as well. Like from a fact that, like, hey, we've been around since the 1800s. We're going to still be around. Like we're an enduring company and a symbol, and so I could see that too. I don't have enough faith to believe in that. That's how I want them to be, but I don't know if that's how they're going to be. We'll see.
So I do think that there has to be a price increase on the Japanese model. It has to. Like, I don't think they're going to eat the cost. They're not going to lose money, but they have a buffer on the US versions. So I do think that there will be a price increase on the Japanese model, which is $330, but I don't think there's going to be a price increase on the US version.
Okay. All right, last one also came in from Geo 2062. They said Asus will reveal an Ally X hardware revision that includes a larger screen or OLED. I'm going to go first on this. Absolutely not. I don't think that they're going to be dropping any kind of handhelds anytime soon. I think even though they seem to be weathering the storm better than Lenovo, as per our previous conversation, I bet that we see a slowdown everywhere when it comes to these handheld devices because they're super niche. And niche devices means that you can't order in bulk. And if you can't order in bulk, then the prices are going to be high. So I don't think that's true. Tell me I'm wrong, you guys, because I like talking about handheld stuff. Rich?
This is a rough one, a rough set of questions, right? Lenovo
really
dropping out, Switch 2 price hike. Yeah, no, I don't think Asus will reveal an Ally X. I felt like there was a little like hullabaloo, right? Like there was some Asus event or something that people were speculating that something like that was coming. But I'm in agreement with you, Bill. I think that, yeah, there's just too much going on. Now's not the time.
Carrie, you were away last week. Were you at some kind of thing where you got to see an Xbox Ally X with a big screen that was OLED?
No, but I'm going to say true anyway.
You think they're going to this year?
Yes.
Oh,
Sure,
actually, they didn't specify this year. They just specified at some point.
How much will that be, Carrie?
$4,000.
$39.99.
So, that goes into my point, though, is that I think that they probably will. I mean, they are a hardware company and they have an annual cycle and they've been doing this every year. Laptops, small form factor PCs, they're always turning out a new one. And they seem to still be doing that even in the face of prices that are just astronomical. The Hideo Kojima, Flow Z13,
that's
right.
right.
Let's go ahead and do a 128 gigabyte RAM model of this thing in the worst possible time, and then increase the price a week before it launches, right? Like they're barreling through this. And so just given what we've seen already, I think, yeah, they're still cooking on something. Yep.
Yeah. So the only thing for me that I wish, right, because if they could get rid of the bezels on the side, if they could just make it just a tiny bit bigger, this is a side conversation. I have actually talked to them about an 8-inch screen. This is outside of, this is before when the last time we talked about, it was at the Xbox LAX event. And I said that the Switch 2 at 8 inches, for me, especially all the people talking about the 16:9, 8 inches is now the new standard. I've heard so many people absolutely love it. And I have not heard anyone say, "Oh man, this is too big." So I was like, you really got to try to figure out getting as closer to 8 inches as possible. But I know I got pushback from it on Asus as well. They're like, 8 inches is so big. And I was like, you got just worry about the sides. Like the sides, you can have thicker bezels, but on the top, try to go out as top as you can. You know what I mean? Just really work with the dimensions. So if they can get a 7.5 or 7.6 OLED model, that would be kind of cool.
What's the size of the screen on the Lenovo Legion Go
7.
S?
Oh, Legion Go S?
8.8. But it's 16 by 10, so it's taller.
Yeah.
It's just 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Just 8. Okay.
that's
yeah.
the
8
Go
inches.
is
yeah, but it's taller.
8.8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a wonderful screen. That's exactly what
is.
I would want to see. I would want to see 16 by 10. I prefer 16 by 10,
So do
and
I.
then 8 inches. Like basically, just put that screen in it.
Yeah, the Switch 2 size, I think a lot of people absolutely love. So if you can minimize the bezels on that as best as possible, I think that's but they pushed back on it. But I do think that at this point it's going to be OLED. I'm going to say true.
OLED VRR, like the Lenovo Legion
Yeah.
Go 2.
Why not?
Okay,
let's
Carrie's
All in
just-
all, why not?
Pie in the sky. Why
All
not?
right, Gary. No Switch 2
Gary's like,
price
"What's
hike
not to love?"
and a new Asus handheld.
The Legend of Zelda movie is going to be 95 rated.
You know what? This is a
Uh,
big turn of events because beginning of the year is all 2026 and, cursed year, but I'm enjoying the optimism.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't think Nintendo's going to raise the price. And I do think that, I'm going to say true on OLED handheld.
All right.
them.
Well, let us know what you guys think in the comments section down below. This was just a small part of my podcast, the Nerd Nest podcast. And if you enjoyed it, then do me a favor and click on that like button down below. And if you really enjoyed it, then I think you should check out the link in the description down below the like button. It's going to take you to the full podcast so you can check out the entire conversation and a whole lot more. If that sounds good, I hope to see you over there. Stay rad, and thanks for watching.